We have all been getting goat horns the wrong way! Mojang's The Wild update changed Minecraft forever in some very strange ways. Up until now, most farm tutorials consisted of get the mob, kill the mob, and profit. But with goats came a new idea of the game. If you can dodge a goat, you can have a horn. The most common type of goat horn farm involves having pistons push a block in the way of the goat while it tries to attack either you or an armor stand. But the farm we're building today is so much simpler than that. Yeah. Yes, Gary. Okay, Gary, that's enough. Okay, yes, Gary's right. I did already make a goat horn farm video. But what happened was, one of my subscribers, named Sacrifice, commented there's a much easier way to get goat horns. And this was a shock to me. This is so simple. Basically, all he does is he digs a hole and uses a trapdoor to hide under a block, and the goats will come and smash into the block above him and drop a goat horn. Obviously, that's much easier. Then I got to thinking, couldn't you use other entities like chicken or a bee? And after some testing, I found out that yes, you can. Goats will ram entities that are 4 to 16 blocks away, and I prefer to keep my farms within a single chunk border when possible. As a result, we are digging a 16 by 16 by 5 hole for this farm using the chunk borders as a guide. Press F3 and G to show the chunk borders and start digging.
5 minutes later.
Now that you've got the chunk dug out, you can move on to the most important step of the entire farm. All you have to do is press the like button on this video to let the algorithm know that you are finding it helpful, and YouTube has your permission to show it to more people. Now it's time to dig out a collection area that is 4 layers deep. Just stair step on down. I'm going to make this room just slightly bigger here, because this is where our storage area is going to be for the goat horns. Once we're down here, we're going to place our chests and get our hoppers. Now we got those hoppers in place, we're ready to place all of our rails. Then put the floor in for where the goats are going to stand. You could use any block for the floor. It really doesn't matter as long as it's a solid block. Alright, now that that's all filled in, we're going to grab our wood logs and come down to the center. That should lead us to the dead centers right there. Well, the dead center is between the 2 blocks because it's 16 by 16, so it's going to be off center just a little bit. If that bugs you, feel free to dig out a 15 by 15 square hole. So we're going to put 8 blocks around in this pattern, leaving the center hole, and then we're going to put the other 8 blocks right underneath. Now we're going to take any building block we have, place it so it's right underneath one of these blocks. So you're going to put down a powered rail right next to this block, and you're going to power that. Then we're going to take this rail, come all the way back here. That one I powered with a lever, so this one I'll power with a redstone block. With that powered, now you're going to just build a wall around this. Give yourself a place to stand. Make sure that this is completely sealed in because we're going to have to get a chicken or a bee in here. We don't want the bee or chicken going off the rails. Get out your minecart, place it right there, and it should start going back and forth, even if it goes back a little slowly. You can help push it along. Alright, so if you don't have a beehive and you have some chicken eggs, you can easily just spam some eggs until you get a chicken on the track. The only difference between using a bee and a chicken that I found, you'll have eggs in your farm. So I prefer a bee when possible. If you're using the bee nest method, just simply place down your bee nest, minecart picks up a bee. Now leave your bee nest or hive and the bees should go back in there. Oh, before they all escape, let's put in doors. And we don't want any mobs spawning in here, so put a couple torches around the top of here. Make sure they're not on the bottom row, make sure they're on the top row. Mine the powered rail, and now the bee and the minecart will stay right where you want it. Go ahead and mine the blocks around it, then get out your trapdoors, place them on all 4 sides. And that's really just because baby goats can get in there and push them around. But with the trapdoors, that minecart's going to firmly stay right where it is. So now the only thing we're missing here is goats. Now for some reason they have a hard time pathfinding because of the doors. So if you need to, go ahead and break one of the doors. Alright, now that we got the goats in here, close up the doors and start breeding them up so we can get a whole bunch of goats.
Moments later.
What I built over here, really, it's the same farm. The only difference is I made a wheat farm above it and put it all into one room. Obviously, you could make a fancier roof on here, and you could do a lot of decoration, but if we come inside, obviously you have your goats inside here. And then this is a manual wheat farm, meaning, you just have to harvest the wheat and then replant it. And any wheat farms I usually put a composter here. So you take the excess wheat, throw it in there, automatically make bone meal for you. So obviously you know how that works. You could put villagers in here and make an automatic wheat farm. I didn't take the time to do that. But down here for the collection system, I use stairs right above this chest so that it could be opened. Here we can access these, and then we can take those goat horns horns, and we can sort those out manually. You could do a whole elaborate allay system to sort out them, but I just went with the simple method. You're gonna get a whole lot of the 4 main goat horns, so I put in a lava with cauldron in here. That way you can take the excess horns and just hit Q and get rid of them, or you could store them however you want. That's what I decided to do. But I'll leave an equipment list for the full farm in the description below, as well as the basic version that I built into the side of the mountain. All in all, a lot simpler. No need for redstone, no need for allay, and even better production. So thank you to Sacrifice for letting me know about this much easier way of getting goat horns. After all that, I just realized I made a mistake. Do you see my mistake? Yeah. I put polished andesite blocks above the B. So obviously the andesite's not going to work because it has to be either logs, stone, or coal, iron, or emerald ore. Now, I'm using logs because it's one of the only things that goats can ram that does not require silk touch. So it makes it a little easier to get. There, this farm is ready for goats. Well, let me know in the comments what you think of this version of a goat farm, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing to this channel. Besides tutorial videos, I also like to live stream a couple times a week and make some pretty funny shorts. Also, you should check out our community game night that I host by joining my Discord. I'll leave a link in the description below. But until next time, please remember not to take offense. If you do, the cows just might get loose.